know what's the biggest fuck you? Drake and Party Next Door's album. That shit was a big fuck you. Like, that shit, I try to, I didn't even know it dropped till like a day after. I'm like, when Drake drops music, everyone knows about it. But honestly, like, I know, I'll admit the most recent Drake albums haven't been the greatest. His last one was probably like the least memorable one. I think like there's barely any songs on there that's actually like I listen to this day. They're just very forgettable. And when I was trying, like I was actually trying, like, you know what? I typically have my set. I like to listen to the same stuff over and over. I was like, you know what? Once in a while, if it's like a new album or something I've set out to listen to, and this Party Next Door album, I didn't take too many notes on this because, to be honest, there's not really much to break down. Because they all the songs sound the same. But the album is Some Sexy Songs for You. And I gotta tell you, none of them really felt sexy. I want my sexy back. Like, it literally, I think my notes were, I can't really read from down here. It felt like leftovers. And it literally, like, it was a 21 song album. So I was kind of like, shit. Like, that could be good or bad. Because sometimes it's too dragged out. But I'm like, you know what? If they did a duet, I'm assuming this was, like, really well put together. Typically when Drake and Party Next Door do music together, it's typically a hit, But this one was worse than being bad. It was inoffensive. It made you feel nothing. I listened to maybe like 4 or 5 songs, and I was doing like an exercise 3 or 4 sets. And and it was just playing in my head, and I forgot it was playing. Next thing, it was like 4 songs in. I'm like, oh, it has sounded like the same song for the past 15 minutes. And I'm like, oh, this shit's not really all that good. And I kind of just sweat. I was like, I don't even know. I'll listen to it later. I have not. I just don't, I don't get this path that Drake is trying to go down. Someone said, I heard and someone said the Drake era as we know is officially done. It will never be that same. Drake will never reach the same heights. And the Kendrick situation obviously does not help. But really, the Drake stuff has been kind of deteriorating probably for the past 3 years, I would say. I don't know what. As a certified lover boy, after that, I think things kind of died down for a little bit, right? And the last album, For All the Dogs, was just, I'm going to be honest, it was eh. But the Drake eras, we know, like, it being must listen the night it comes out. Like, people doing live streams, getting 100,000 views in real time. I don't think that's really a thing anymore. There's not many artists where that is a thing. I just think the issue with Drake now, it really has nothing to do with the beef stuff. I know, like, people are going to make a lot about that. I really think it almost feels like music that is made for people that are inebriated all the time. And as weird as that sounds, because chances are he's probably been inebriated making all these songs for the past like 8 to 10 years. And there's a certain state of mind. But the issue is when you listen to an album, you're like, I feel like this album is made when you are high or when you're drunk or when you're completely at night laying in bed or when you're driving or this. Like, you typically, like, in the perfect setting, this music will hit in a certain way. I don't really think it's made for literally just hoping that you're not really listening to it, if that makes sense. And this is coming from a Drake stan. I'm not Los Polos TV with it, but hey, I was excited when that last album came out, and I was severely disappointed, to be pretty frank with you. And this kind of furthers the notion, like, I don't really think music is like the priority. I don't think his goal is to be the hottest one out. I don't think his goal is to be the best, like that mentality. Maybe he'll come back with a vengeance. Like, maybe he's just like, we're just going to drop this shit because we know it's not the greatest stuff. But in this time, I could put out the greatest album. It's not really going to make a mark. So maybe he's timing for everything to die down. That's me being an optimist. It doesn't really feel like the beats. It doesn't really feel like the lyrics, the melodies. There's much innovation. It feels very formulaic. And I can't name a single song off this last Party Next Door Drake album. And that's the problem. Like, there's nothing memorable. There's not a memorable verse, a memorable line, a memorable intro. There's not something that sounds so harmonic. You just got to revisit it. I don't know. But yeah,